If you or a loved one is dealing with a terminal illness, I need you to watch this entire video because I'm going to talk about terminal illness cases, otherwise known as a TERI case, in the SSA disability verse. I'll discuss specific things you need to know and why you need to apply right away. If you're ready for this, let's get it started. A terminal illness is one of the most traumatic things any family would have to deal with. It is by far one of the most challenging and stressful times for any person to deal with, as well as their loved ones. Social Security defines a terminal illness as a medical condition that is untreatable and is expected to result in death. When this happens, it's important to get your case filed right away for SSDI. When you get a doctor's diagnosis that the illness is terminal, or if the actual diagnosis is on SSA's list of allegations or case descriptors. I have more on that in a moment. Most times TERI cases are not going to provide a lot of back pay because once you get the diagnosis, it's time to apply. So there's not much for a disability attorney to do on your case. As a matter of fact, disability attorneys are probably not going to be that motivated to work on your TERI case because it's not going to be enough for them to put in the work to get you the benefits that you're looking for. So it may be only a few $100s that the attorney might get by helping you with your claim. It's not a long-term situation where you were dealing with this terminal illness for a year or 2 years or longer, where it will be more skin in the game for the attorney to get a payout when you get approved. For the amount of work that they need to do on your claim, it's just not worth it. So when you apply for SSDI with a terminal illness, SSA will flag the case as a high priority case called a TERI case. It will have some kind of indicator in your claim to show that this is a TERI case and this needs a decision right away. SSA is required to do this when you allege or you have medical records showing that you have an illness or condition that is untreatable and is expected to result in death. SSA has a list of case descriptors that help guide them to know when they need to flag the case as a potential TERI case. SSA has a complete list of these case descriptors. I put a link in the description so you can get access to it for yourself. Let's get into some of these descriptors right now. The first one is any allegation, not even a diagnosis, just an allegation that the illness is terminal. That by itself is enough to flag that case as a TERI case. Another allegation that could be considered a TERI case is amyotrophic lateral sclerosis or Lou Gehrig's disease. Just having that allegation on your application is enough to flag that case as a TERI case. Also, you have acquired immune deficiency syndrome or AIDS. When a person has actual AIDS, not HIV, but actual AIDS, an allegation of AIDS, that will flag the case as well. Another descriptor is a person who is in inpatient or outpatient hospice care. So a person who has already had hospice started is in line to have their case expedited as a TERI case, especially if there's some in-home end-of-life counseling or palliative hospice care involved. Also, someone who is chronically dependent on a cardiopulmonary life-sustaining device is in line for that TERI flag. Someone who is awaiting a heart, a lung, a liver, or bone marrow transplant is in line for a TERI case. Kidney transplants are not in that list because a person can have a kidney transplant, but a kidney transplant is not life-threatening. Also, an allegation or a diagnosis of cancer of the brain, liver, esophagus, pancreas, or gallbladder is in line for that TERI flag. And just one more to boot, someone who is comatose for 30 days or more is in line for that flag as well. When your TERI case gets to the DDS, that case gets high priority over any other case in general. There are other high priority or fast track claims, but TERI cases have major status in a DDS. So a TERI case in the eyes of the examiner is something that they can get moved along really quickly, and they have to because that is something that they don't want lingering on their caseload. But basically, the DDS is required to expedite the development on a Terry case. So they're supposed to be using more expedited means to get the case moving, using fax, using the phone, using other electronic means to get records in so they can make a decision as quickly as possible. They're not supposed to be mailing stuff. They're not supposed to be waiting around for weeks for something to come in. They need to get this thing moving and get it moving on the double. Now, the DDS may remove the Terry designation once they get enough records and it is determined that either the allegation or the diagnosis is not on a level of a life-threatening situation, or there was an obvious error in actually flagging the case as a Terry case. Let me give you an example. Let's say a person has cancer and the field office flags the case as a Terry case. But once the DDS gets the records in, they see that the type of cancer that the person has is actually responding to therapy. So as a result, the DDS will remove the Terry flag off of that case, and then it will be worked just like any other case. Although it won't be worth your time to try to get an attorney to help you on a Terry case, there's other help out there. But I digress. And there you have it. How to deal with terminal illness cases with Social Security. Now, like I always tell you, I have a lot of other videos. I don't know what you're sleeping on, but you need to go check them out. Don't leave me hanging, because I'm going to see you on the other side.